Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Newsroom. I'm Maddie Paul. Inside the Newsroom, we bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area. And here's my favorite part. We bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about these trending stories. And they happen to be the same trending stories that you see every day on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, got lucky with your Black Friday shopping. And of course, today is Cyber Monday. So if you're taking part in those deals, good luck. I know I will be, because I like to get my Christmas shopping done pretty early and all my holiday shopping. So good luck to everyone with that. I hope you had a great and long weekend too, even with that snowfall that was falling in. Make sure you stay tuned with KELOLAND News for all updates to developing conditions. We have many ways that you can see developing storm conditions through our website, KELOLAND.com, our storm tracker app, or just following along with our meteorologists on our newscasts. But let's get into Inside the Newsroom today, because coming up, we're recapping the Parade of Lights with our KELOLAND hosts. So let's see how well they did with snow, the Grinch count, and just having fun. Stay with us. We're going to have more for Inside the Newsroom when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Parade goers braved the cold and lined the streets of Phillips Avenue for the 33rd annual Parade of Lights on Friday. And people saw countless Christmas lights as well as several appearances from the Grinch. In all, the parade lasted about 45 minutes, and the hosts of the fun now join us at the digital desk to talk about it. But first of all, I know that there was a lot of snow that happened that afternoon, gentlemen. So what did you have to do to stay warm?
A lot of hand warmers. Like, you should have seen us here in the studio before we went out. We were like I got my hand warmers in my gloves. I put some toe warmers in my shoes, so we were ready to roll.
Good.
And it was nice too, because we said, "Oh, I have extras. I have extras. If you need extras, I have extras." And to give some to Sam too, who ran camera street lighting.
Yeah, because he was your photojournalist that day, right? Running around down at the shots, getting some great shots of the Grinch and Santa and all the parade floats that were going by. But this year, Grant Sweeter usually hosts with Scott, but he was on paternity leave, which is fine. He could watch from the comfort of his own home. So, Jordan, this was your first year hosting the Parade of Lights. How was it for you?
I had a lot of fun. It was my first time actually there in person at the Parade of Lights too. So
you never gone before?
Yeah, no, it was
there for the job.
Exactly. But no, I had a lot of fun. It was cool. Just the amount of effort that people put into these floats, it just kind of amazed me.
Yeah, Scott, was there anything that stood out to you this year?
Well, it was quick. And I think, because we've had, the streets were a little slushy and icy, of course, Catfish Bay, they usually do their pyramid. But I was thinking, as they're coming down, are they going to do that because of the snow and the slush that we have on the streets? They didn't, that I saw, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because we don't need anybody slipping, sliding, falling, getting hurt.
No, nothing like that. But something else that was new this year, not only a little bit of a shorter parade maybe because of the weather and Jordan joining as a host for this year, but you guys were able to be on your own, what do you want to call it, like a platform?
Yeah, they set up some scaffolding. So we were on a platform that was raised a little. You can see the photo there.
Right
that was
there,
raised a little bit, 3 feet off the ground. Probably. But, just enough to give us a better camera angle more than anything else.
Oh, okay. And well, you were able to have the camera there because you didn't have that before when you were previously in like the State Theater, right?
We did.
You did?
It was
okay.
angled coming out of one of those windows of the State Theater. We were on the other side of that marquee in years prior. You can see a couple of those windows to the left of the sign. We were on the other side, and that more or less is the stairwell that we are in, and they have two windows there. I would look out one, and then Grant would look out the other one, and then he would control the camera looking out his window.
Gotcha. Jordan, was that a lot of fun, or was that kind of too cold?
It was a little cold, but I'm not going to lie to you. But it was also interesting to be just out with the people, too. I think that gave me a good feel for just the energy of how people were feeling. And it was kind of funny. Mayor Paul Tanikin was one of the first people to walk by us in the parade. He's like, "Oh, Kello's out here roughing it," you know. And so like, there's a lot of Scott was really popular too. And a lot of people who said hi to Scott and just ignored me. So I don't know what.
But I was closer to the street
okay.
too, so they were able to see me maybe a little bit better.
So it was good to have that interaction, I would say, with people and things like that.
And you guys had great interaction with each other during the Parade of Lights. I actually watched it all back this morning and took a couple of clips that were my favorite from your 45 minutes together, and I'd like to play it now. And this features mostly, lots of jokes that you guys had together, but also the Grinch count. The Grinch count. So here, I'm going to start playing that clip.
But the one thing we have to talk about, the Grinch counter. Yes, we do. So I'll give everybody a sneak peek at that. So this is what we're going to show tonight. We did the same thing last year. Every time we see a Grinch, we're going to add it up. And so, Scott, what is your prediction tonight?
Well, last year I said 6. This year I'll go 1 less and say 5.
All right, I'm going to Price is Right you, and I'm going to go 4.
I haven't seen.
I love the competition aspect right away. I'm like, I'm going to go a little bit lower. But why'd you guys pick low numbers to start? Scott, why'd you go down?
Well, I went down just because of the weather.
Yeah.
And it could have worked for me. It could have worked against me because more people may have thought, you know what, maybe I'll go down dressed as the Grinch because I'll stay warm that way.
I don't know if I included it in the clip or not, but during the Parade of Lights, you guys also mentioned that what counts as the Grinch, you know, like how do we actually count it? And it was somebody who just dressed up as the Grinch, right?
Yeah, not any stuffed animals.
Or decorations.
Yeah.
Or a few like
Decorations.
decorations
On
on
the float.
vehicles that we didn't count. Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't any Grinches yet. Not yet. Nothing yet. We'll get there. I hope. Because I think that's my favorite part. I want to use that Grinch counter, Scott.
And it's a good costume to wear just because it's cold. It's a good costume to wear to stay warm. And speaking of a float in front of my face, it's number 1.
Number 1 on the Grinch
counter. Put it up.
Let's get it up. Let's get up the Grinch counter. Number 1. And we get a good look at it from Sam Putnam down on the street. Look at that.
He's in the chimney. He's ready to steal that Christmas tree and go right back up the chimney. Van?
You know, it was crazy. That was 7 minutes into our live stream, at least, was the first Grinch encounter that we
And
had.
another Grinch.
We have another. Oh, we have another one. Scott, let's get the Grinch counter back up. I got a feeling you're going to smoke me on this, Scott.
And I said that because like we had like 2 back to back. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because that one showed up around the 8-minute mark of the live stream. And I counted this on purpose because as we're about to see, we don't really get a Grinch for a little bit while after that. And so, oh gosh, now I got to do time math. But from the 8-minute mark that we got the second Grinch, the third Grinch doesn't come in until the 31-minute mark. So there's 20 plus, or almost 20 plus.
And I only said 5. 1 less than last year. We'll see.
I went low. I should have went high.
We'll see. That's a big gingerbread. That's a big gingerbread they have in the back of that pickup.
I just don't know if I'd see anybody my age there, Scott.
What are you saying?
I think you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Walking by, I want to tap my feet to the beat. Except I can't do that because it might shake the camera. We're up on some scaffolding, so I don't want to do that.
Hey, Scott.
And then you do it. You actually tap your foot. You can see
I couldn't help myself.
That was
And I was
one of the
told
advances
right
going
away,
by.
Scott, don't move that much because it's going to move the camera.
You couldn't help yourself. I don't think I included it in this clip, but Scott also got very excited every time a dog went by. So you see the giant Burmese dogs go by, or the dogs dressed up as bees or something that were coming by.
Yeah.
There was one dog just sitting on the float. Scott got very excited for that. I think Jordan at one point you even said you could just reach down and pet it or something like that.
Would have shaken the camera though.
Oh yeah, of course
would have
I
shaken
did.
the
So you
camera.
couldn't have pet the
We had a couple of Grinches right off the bat, but it's slowing down.
It's slowing down, so we're at 2.
We're at 2. So it's looking good for me so far. We'll see.
Oh, and this is Pinnacle Production, and they stayed here for a while too.
I saw that. You guys were just
Another
like,
thing where
talk.
I couldn't move my feet or dance.
This next part's pretty funny.
It could be at your next wedding.
No, not my next wedding. Not
I'm
my
not
next
saying
wedding.
you.
Okay.
I'm just saying this could be at your wedding right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Melanie was watching too. That was the first thing I heard when I got back to the house. No.
Here's what I meant like the next wedding you go to, not like your actual next wedding.
Hey, you could renew your vows. Bring them in.
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
There you go. The music was so fun with that one, too. That was a lot of fun. That made me laugh, Jordan.
Because on my way downtown, the song I heard on the radio was "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And there's a Grinch, just in time.
Santa, that's our first Santa. I'm surprised that's our first Santa we've seen so far. I've seen more Grinches than Santa, so what does that say about how people feel about Christmas, you think?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, and they're yelling.
My favorite about that is people are literally going, Santa! Because Jordan was right. That was the first Santa that went down in the parade. And that was like almost 36 minutes in maybe that the first Santa came by.
Well, what's interesting is, like, Scott, you just said that a Grinch costume is warm for this. I mean, you would think a Santa costume would be
warm
too.
Yeah, that's
especially
a great
with
point,
the beard
actually.
and everything. Yeah.
All right, I got about another minute.
Oh,
of
another
this.
Grinch. Just barely get a shot of him, so that brings us to
4, I believe.
number 4. The Scout, oh, we got another Grinch.
Oh, yes.
He's just hanging out, man. It's hard for me to tell if he's part of the parade or not. He might just be hanging out.
He's scheming. He's up to something.
Still got a good shot of our Grinch here. Walking right up to our camera.
Walking right in front of Santa, too. We can't forget about Santa. And Santa signifies the end of the parade.
So you got your Grinches right at the buzzer there.
Whew. Now I have to get my snowfall forecast as good as that forecast.
Well,
It was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to see. I love that the Grinch at the end blocks the camera.
he's holding that kid upside down.
What?
That
Yeah,
shot
look
you
at
could
it. Yeah.
see.
Look.
Yeah.
Gosh. Wait a minute, you're right. Hold on, I need to zoom in on this. That'd be pretty funny if he wasn't a part of anything. He's just some guy walking around.
Oh boy.
The Grinch.
Be careful, all right?
Yeah.
He's a mean one.
No, he's a mean
mean
one.
one.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Blocking the last Santa of the day. Well, thank you both for being here to talk about the Parade of Lights and have some fun, watch it back a little bit. Jordan, was it fun reminiscing?
Oh, it was.
your funny moments. Well, great job. I hope you guys had a lot of fun, as you obviously did. And thank you for sharing your experience and having some fun here at the digital
You bet.
desk.
You bet.
And everyone, stick around for more on Inside the Newsroom. We're going to go back into news for a little bit, say goodbye to the Parade of Lights. And we're looking at how virtual reality is now a student's reality. Stay tuned for more Inside the Newsroom after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. What used to be considered a futuristic concept is now being used in classrooms right here in South Dakota. Summer Roddershot showed us how virtual reality is becoming a student's reality in a recent Eye on KELOLAND story. Take a look.
When Jet Yagi first came to college, she didn't quite know what to think about virtual reality simulations.
I didn't think it would help me at all. I wasn't too sure about it because I always think I'm right and my instructor's wrong.
But she was quickly won over by the use of virtual reality in Southeast Technical College's Collision Repair and Refinishing program. They have been using VR for the past couple of years.
This one has the best virtual reality system that I've used. When I have the goggles on and everything, it is just like I'm in the booth. So it's just like, for me, it's supernatural, and that's what I want the students to have, is that experience.
In this program, students are able to paint different car parts.
I get to pick the color of paint that I get to use, and I select my panel. I think the last one I did was a hood, and then you kind of just go through and you can play with the settings to see your angle, your speed, and seeing how consistent you are to the panel. And then there's also other settings that will change the color to be like red, blue, and green, seeing if your pattern is correct, if you're overlaying correctly.
The gun is weighted, and the gun has controls on it just like a real gun. And when you're spraying, it actually vibrates, just like the feel of a gun. And the students get to actually go and watch and do the pattern. So they get to do the technique and everything involved with that. So it's about as real as you could possibly get.
While it may look like a cool game to some people, Dana Davis, the collision instructor, says there are benefits to students using the VR program.
What we've seen so far is they're using the simulator for 2 to 3 hours, and then they go out into the lab, and their skills are instantaneously improved. A lot of the students that struggle spend more time on the simulator, and it brings them up to speed with more advanced students.
But you can find VR programming in more than just that classroom, including one of the most natural places you'd expect to find it, with computer programming classes. Andy Honey is a computer programming instructor. In this classroom, not only are students using virtual reality programs, they're also creating them.
The cool thing about that is that we tell them kind of, here's how you work with VR at a basic level. Now go look and research and delve deep into the different topics. And so we hand them off and have them do their own research, kind of giving them a guided research that they'll use for other computer programming tasks.
Honey says that some of the programs the students are creating are pretty impressive.
We can create these VR applications for running on phones and VR headsets just right out of the box, and then run them as websites. We've also seen ambitious student or two actually try to create a full VR game, where we've had students in the past do things like VR spell simulator, where the gestures do different spells, and you can do like Iron Man flight and stuff.
Another classroom offering VR simulations is for students working with invasive cardiology.
So the C-arm is the radiation, the II. So it's going to swivel around. This is going to act like the patient, okay? And as we're going in and fixing the vessels around their heart, on the big screen you can actually see the heart.
While it helps students practice ahead of time, there's another benefit to this virtual reality program.
Instead of introducing a whole bunch of radiation to students before they're actually into industry, then they're able to sit here and be protected and not have radiation.
And students have been grateful for that hands-on activity.
They love the fact that they're not sitting in their desk the entire time listening to a PowerPoint. They're actually getting up and physically being able to put didactic with lab.
Whether it's cardiology, computers, or cars, virtual reality has been a great addition to Southeast Technical College and its students.
It makes them feel more confident in what they're doing. It's fun. It's a good time. And yeah, you can play around with it. There's a lot of different things you can do with it.
Stay tuned on KELOLAND Plus tonight at 6:30 for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. We'll show you a week's worth of Eye on KELOLAND stories right in one spot, including that story again. So it'd be a great time to watch that again. There will be a lot more too, from riding along with police to histories of small towns. There's just so much to watch tonight. Again, that's at 6:30 for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. But still to come on Inside the Newsroom, we're going to have Summer Roddershot join us here at the digital desk, and she's going to talk about creating this virtual reality story. So stay with us. We're going to have lots more for Inside the Newsroom when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. We watched the virtual reality becoming a student's reality in the last segment of Inside the Newsroom. And now let's learn about how this story came together with our reporter, Summer Roddershot. So, Summer, did you know anything about like virtual reality or VR before going into that story?
So honestly, the only thing, I feel like we all had those like little headsets maybe back when I was in high school. But it's so funny because Jump 5, which is an old band, they used to have a song called Virtual Reality. And so in my head, it was always this like futuristic thing, in the song, I don't think they were actually talking about stuff actually happening. I don't understand the song at all, if I'm being honest. But all I knew is it always seemed like something that was very far off. And so when I heard that students are actually actively learning about this in numerous different departments, I'm like, that is so cool.
It always shocks me because I play with VR because my brother has like the headset
Sure.
and stuff like that. But it's always so cool when you can use it for medical advancements or
Exactly.
engineering, especially in a school setting. Did you get to try on the VR or anything while you were there?
I'm gonna be honest, the last time, so like I said, like I had like a little thing in high school. I tried it in high school. I got so sick. I got very motion sick.
Yeah.
So I left it to the students, but the students didn't seem to have an issue with it.
No.
When we were talking to her, she was living her best life. So I probably had like maybe a not great VR experience, but like I said, the students were learning it, and like, I mean, you saw her. She was like, I feel so much more confident when I use this VR because then I feel like I'm not going to mess up when I go and do it on the real thing. So
there's so much excitement, and you could feel that from the story from both students and instructors when they're talking about not only using it for those simulations, but also creating some of the programming. That was one of the coolest parts, I thought, from your story. What stood out to you the most creating this?
I just think it's remarkable how far technology has really come, because and maybe it was a thing when I was in college and I just didn't see it, but like I never heard of students actually actively using it. And I just think they're using it so well because at Southeast Technical College, they're still getting that hands-on experience. But like I said, this VR stuff is helping them get ready to do the hands-on.
Yeah.
Giving them that room for error when it doesn't matter quite yet, so that when it does matter, they're able to like successfully do it. So I think it's so. I think it's so cool. Is that weird? I just think
no. I don't think
look at her.
It looks like a lot of fun. Speaking of how it looked, what was your game plan with your photojournalist on getting visuals for the story?
That was actually like one of the hardest parts because I was worried I was just going to have somebody like sitting there doing exactly that. But the Southeast Tech arranged so that we could see up on a big screen what they were seeing. And that was like sort of our lifesaver because I was like, if we can't see that, you guys aren't going to see much. But they were able to arrange it so that we could see exactly what they were seeing. And then obviously getting them doing the VR stuff is still so fun. So
I'd be just kind of like speechless watching it all just like happen in front of me like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it like for you, like being in the room and watching it all like unfold?
I thought it was really interesting because not only do they have like the headsets on, but they like are also controlling it, and they move to control it, but they use the things on the thumbs, and it was genuinely it didn't quite make sense to me. It probably would have made way more sense if I was actually in it, but watching them do it, I was just like, I'm sure it's a learning curve to understand it, but once they learn it, it's like their actual reality, a student's reality.
Fun. Well, Summer, thank you so much for sharing these details here at the Digital Desk and having fun as usual for Inside the Newsroom. And that's all the time that we have for Inside the Newsroom today. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a great day, everyone.